Buongiorno studenti, hello students. Today we're going to talk about two words and some other related words that can be very confusing. Giorno and giornata. Can you use these correctly? Are you sure what they mean exactly and what the difference between them is? So here's my quick and effective explanation. Let's start with the word giorno. The word giorno means a unit of 1 year. So giorno, let's spell this out, is a portion of the year. A year is made of 365 days. So giorno is just 1 unit of that year. That's what giorno literally means in Italian. So how do we use this? We use this whenever we refer to a day with that meaning, as a portion of an year. Let me give you a few example sentences. Let's suppose we want to say an year is made of 365 days. In Italian that would be un giorno è fatto da, non un giorno, un anno è fatto da 365 giorni. Un anno è fatto da 365 giorni. So 1 year is made of 365 days. I'm using the word giorno correctly because I'm referring to its meaning, which is a portion of 1 year. Let's see some other sentences where it's correct to use giorno. Let's suppose we want to talk about our birthday. So we could say oggi è il giorno del mio compleanno. Oggi è il giorno del mio compleanno. Today is the day of my birthday. So why is it correct to use giorno here for day? Because giorno, we're talking about giorno as day as a date, a specific day in the calendar. So remember, giorno has to do with the calendar, with the objectivity of the calendar. Let me give you another example. If you want to ask what day is today, that in Italian would be che giorno è oggi? What day is today? Che giorno è oggi? I'm asking what day is today. I'm referring to the calendar. So I'm still talking about the day as a portion of the year, a specific day in the year. So when do we use giornata instead? Let me spell this for you. Giornata. Giornata. You can definitely see there's a similarity with giorno. They look very similar. But there's a difference in spelling, giornata. And by the way, this is feminine. Giorno is masculine, but giornata is feminine. Well, here's my quick trick to immediately understand this. Giornata refers to the subjective experience or perception that you had of the day or that you have of the day. So giorno refers to the calendar, is very objective, factual. But giornata refers to your or someone else's subjective experience, has to do with your perception of the day, not the day as a calendar day, but the day as your life, the way you lived it or the way you're going to live it. So let me share with you some very common phrases, Italian phrases they use giornata, so you will be able to see the difference. Allora, let's start with very common expression. Che bella giornata! Che bella giornata! That means what a beautiful day. That means that you're experiencing a wonderful day, that you're enjoying yourself, that the weather is wonderful, that life is amazing. That's an expression that talks about the day as your experience of the day, and the experience was good. Another example sentence is una giornata di lavoro. That's a common phrase that we use in Italy too, and that means a work day. So why don't we use giorno for work day? Because when we say work day, we're talking about the way you experience that day at work, or we're talking about that day spent at work. So it has to do more with your subjective experience rather than just being a calendar day. So remember, the correct way to say a work day in Italian is una giornata di lavoro. What if you want to ask someone, how was your day? How would you ask that? Would you use giorno or would you use giornata? We would use giornata, because if you ask someone how was your day, you're asking them how was your experience of the day. You're not asking them what day is today. You're asking them how was your experience, how was your perception of the day. So how was your day in Italian would be com'è andata la tua giornata? How was your day? Molto bene. And real quick, that's why we say buona giornata. Have you ever noticed that when we say goodbye in Italian, some people say buona giornata, a presto. I say that in many of my videos, so you probably have noticed that at the end of my videos. Because buona giornata is a greeting that we use when we say goodbye, and that means have a great day. So I'm wishing you to have a wonderful experience for your day. Okay, now that you have learned the trick, so remember, calendar day versus subjective perception of the day, guess what? We can reuse this knowledge for other parts of the day. So let's see what other similar words we have that refer to the part of the day, and now you know the trick. Another one is sera versus serata. Can you guess what the difference is? Sera refers to the part of the day that's the evening, even though in Italian the evening lasts until midnight. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that means that you missed my dedicated video. I'm going to link it in the description, where I talk about how we break down the day in Italian, and that's different from other languages, like for example in English. So anyways, if I say sera, I'm referring to just the objective portion of the day, which is the evening. But if I say serata, I am talking about the experience that I had of that portion of the day. So for example, if you want to say, we have a meeting this evening, which one would you use? We would use sera because we're talking about calendar. Remember, think of the calendar. So abbiamo una riunione questa sera. Abbiamo una riunione questa sera. We have a meeting this evening. I'm just talking about a calendar portion of the day. But instead, if I want to say, what a beautiful evening, which one would you use? Esatto, serata, because serata has to do with your experience of the night. So, che bella serata. What a beautiful evening. Va bene? Okay, we are not done yet. We can still reuse this knowledge and keep practicing this concept with other parts of the day. Another example is notte versus nottata. By now, you know the trick. Notte is the portion of the day. It's an objective fact. Nottata is a subjective feeling, has to do with your experience of the night. So let's suppose you want to say something. Usually, the night is cooler than the day. Which one would you use? You would use notte because you're referring to the portion of the day. You're saying that the portion of the day where the sun is not out is cooler than the portion of the day when the sun is out. So in Italian that would be: di solito la notte è più fresca del giorno. See, I'm using both notte and giorno because I'm referring to portions of the day. Usually night is cooler than day. Di solito la notte è più fresca del giorno. But if instead we want to say that we had a bad night, like we didn't sleep well, how would you say that? Nottata. So in Italian that would be, for example, let's suppose you want to say, yeah, yesterday I had a bad night. we would say ieri ho avuto una brutta nottata. Ieri ho avuto una brutta nottata. And I know I'm using ugly, but the reason I'm using ugly is because brutto in Italian doesn't only mean ugly, it means bad if there's a negative emotion linked to that. This is a concept I've explained in another of my videos, so I'm going to link that one too, where I explain how to use bello correctly in Italian. And the same rules apply to brutto, which is the opposite of bello. So, ieri ho avuto una brutta nottata means yesterday I had a bad night, meaning that you had a bad experience of the night. For example, you didn't sleep well. Okay, last one. Since you're doing so well, let's do one last, the last one. And that is mattina. That's the one we haven't done yet. Mattina versus mattinata. Same thing. So, mattina means the portion of the day, the portion of the day that's the beginning of the day. Mattinata is the same thing but has to do with your experience of that part of the day. So for example, if I want to say, I like to take a walk in the morning, which one would you use? Esatto, mattina, because I'm just telling you, I like to schedule my walk in that part of the day. Quindi, in italiano, mi piace fare una passeggiata. Remember, we do not say to take a walk, we say to do a walk. Mi piace fare una passeggiata di mattina, in the morning. If instead I want to say, it was a very productive morning, which one would you use? Mattinata, because you're referring to your experience of that morning, your subjective experience of that morning. So that would be, è stata una mattinata molto produttiva. È stata una mattinata molto produttiva. It was a very productive morning. So there you have it, guys. All the differences that finally explain between all these words. The difference between giorno and giornata, the difference between notte and nottata, sera and serata, and mattina and mattinata. Why do we have so many words in Italian? As it often happens, we have so many words because we want to add some nuances in meaning. And by now, you know the difference very well. So start using these correctly and confidently. Let me know if you like this video, if you have any questions, and why don't you start using these yourself? Maybe leave me a comment with giorno and giornata or any one of these ones. Remember to practice. Pratica, pratica, pratica. Buona giornata e a presto. Ciao da Valentina.